Now, it's not just today's statistics about growth that'll give us an idea of how the economy's doing. Through the year, we'll try to track the fortunes of one high street in rural Devon as it navigates its way through economic downturn and possibly even another recession. Spotlight's Andrea Ormsby has been to Bampton in mid-Devon for the first in a series of reports.
Steeped in history, the small rural town of Bampton lies on the edge of Exmoor. Surrounded by modern shopping centres on every side, Barnstable, Taunton and Exeter, Old Bampton really should be vulnerable. In reality, it thrives. This is bustling Bampton, with honesty boxes in the car park and customer loyalty strong enough to see most businesses through these tough times. Brook Street lies at its heart and has just about every shop you could need.
We've got the butchers and the bakers, and we've got hairdressers. We've got a couple of little stores that provide all the other little items that we need.
This is the butcher. John Westcott took over the business a year and a half ago.
It's a traditional butcher shop that's been here for the last 100 years. We're local farmers, about 3 miles away in the village of Morbath. And we decided this was the next logical step to get closer to our customers.
Well, that small bit nearest me.
January and February are quiet months, and John has some concerns. How to compete on price with supermarkets delivering online shopping orders. And over the last 18 months, some costs have gone up a lot.
Things like the cost of pastries because of the wheat price, global fluctuations in prices of things like that, as well as the cost of fuel for deliveries. Some things have gone up out of our control. Things like waste disposal, things that we don't think of day to day, but are quite a rising cost through businesses like this, having to pay for the disposal of bones and any waste.
John employs 4 full-time members of staff who work 4.5 days a week. They turn over around £4,000 to £5,000 per week, although more at Christmas and Easter.
Very difficult to predict the future. As long as we watch our costs and look after our customers, then the customers will hopefully keep coming in week after week.
Lunchtime over the road at the Toucan Cafe-Bistro. It's owned and run by business partners Katrina Munro and Julia Mayer. This is their first business and very different from their last jobs. They were both police officers in London. 4.5 years ago they packed up and came here, but it hasn't been easy.
Well, we have had to review things recently because we've made some quite major changes to how we're going to be running our business for 2012.
To make the business viable, they've had to keep staff costs to a minimum, taking on the bulk of the work themselves. But that has taken its toll, and so around 2 years ago, they decided to sell up. But in these difficult economic times, there have been no buyers. Now Katrina and Julia have decided to stay, but to make some changes to help their work-life balance.
We're concentrating very much on keeping our daytime business the same as it has been for the 4.5 years that we've been here. So we open sort of 5 days a week and we do coffees, lunches and afternoon teas. But our evening business has changed somewhat because we were doing every weekend evening meals, and now we've adapted that and we're just doing themed evenings.
Despite taking over just as the economy lurched into trouble, the business here is successful.
I think the secret's been is to giving good service and good food. So in fact, since we've been here, our turnover's gone up very steadily most years, even when we've reduced the hours. And that, we hope, will continue to happen.
And to help, they're planning to diversify, making more use of space upstairs. Businesses in Bampton say by and large they're bucking the high street trend. Why? Well, one reason they give is easy parking. No yellow lines, no meters, and no huge problem with a bit of double parking. Andrea Ormsby, BBC Spotlight, Bampton.